Hi everybody and welcome to this week's Coping with Change series. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 simple ways that we can boost our feelings of fulfillment and find meaning during the weeks and months ahead as lockdown lifts. So we are going to start off with a little grounding exercise just to kind of get us in the present moment and increase our focus and concentration. So I invite everyone now to get into a comfortable position. Just feeling your feet press into the floor. Sitting in an upright position, just dropping the shoulders. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling softly out through the mouth. And just taking a moment now to acknowledge any thoughts that may be coming into your mind. The mind is a great storyteller and it loves to tell us stories. Just asking you now, what is it that your mind's telling you? Is it neutral? Is it excited to hear the information? Or maybe there could be other emotions coming up, such as sadness or worry. Just taking a moment now to label the emotion. Here's worry. Here's joy. Here's excitement. And after we label the thought or emotion, just coming down into our body now. Just noticing the air as it flows through your nostrils on the inhale. Feeling the air go into your lungs. And feeling the exhale out through the mouth. Now if we just notice our feet on the floor once more. And gently press them into the ground. Feeling the soles of your feet hitting the floor beneath you. And then gently opening our eyes and noticing 3 things we can see. 2 things we can hear. Could be my voice. Maybe there's something going on in the background. And now just coming back. So thank you everyone for joining. Today we are going to discuss fulfillment. Fulfillment is the byproduct of action, so we can take steps towards fulfillment by engaging in self-improvement. So when we think about self-improvement, I would see it as acting and behaving like the sort of person you want to be, underpinned by your values. And I know we've done a lot on values over the last couple of months, but I'm just going to ask you a short question today just to reflect on. So let's imagine I have a camcorder on you and I've been filming you over the last couple of weeks since we've been in lockdown. So I have all this footage of what you've been doing, and imagine that I was going to edit it and put it into a documentary. So kind of thinking about that, reflecting on the past month, what parts or what bits of the last month would you want everyone else to see? So when we think of our values, if we think of the documentary question, it can be quite helpful. So I wrote down some of mine, and then I encourage you to go off and reflect on some of yours. So I was thinking just before the weekend when I was kind of preparing this video, you know, if there was a camera on me in lockdown, what parts would I want the whole world to see? So I wrote down a couple of things. So the first one I wrote down was patience, actually. Um, During lockdown, something that I'd like other people to see is when I was being helpful to people I knew who weren't as good on computers as me. So some of my friends weren't really sure how to use Zoom. They weren't really sure how to use a laptop even. And, a part that I would want people to see is maybe me on the phone helping my friend out or helping out a family member, setting up their calls or recording or editing videos. But I think under that, it was patience, you know, picking up the phone, staying on the phone with someone and kind of being there with them until they learned a new skill. Which another thing I would like people to see if they were to capture my lockdown, not that all of my lockdown has been good, there's been times, and we'll all have this, where we haven't acted like the sort of person we want to be, and there's definitely a few of those. The next one I wrote was actually kindness, and kindness to myself and to others. So if that camera was on me and they were going to show the film of Keelin over the last month, times when I've picked up the phone to a friend or I've reached out to other people that maybe I couldn't see or taken the time to check in on them, that's something that I would like other people to see. But also, even just as importantly, self-kindness. So one thing that I've really been trying in lockdown is to practice kindness to myself, because not every day has been easy. There have been times I've felt stressed or anxious. There's been times where I have felt quite lonely because I've been apart from so many people I care about. And I think one thing that I'd love people to have seen me doing, aside from the kindness piece, is that self-kindness. So having compassion towards myself. So there have been times, when I'm sitting in my room and I'm reflecting, and I've kind of checked in with myself and kind of gave myself that compassion, give myself a compassionate hand on the heart, and just say to myself, this is really difficult. And then asking myself, what do I need? Um, so a lot of the times, what I have needed just, is a warm cup of tea or to read a book I really enjoy, doing things that are self-soothing to me. That is definitely something that I would be happy for people to see on camera. And then the last one I wrote, I guess, was pushing through and getting projects done. I haven't always, there's moments in isolation where I felt very demotivated, whether it was to finish off a project, finish off a book, even sometimes physical fitness. I could feel like not in the mood for going for a walk. And the times that I would want people to see is me pushing through that resistance. So, finishing that essay, going for that walk when I really didn't want to put on my shoes, and kind of having that perseverance, that kind of bouncing back and kind of not giving in, and pushing through and doing something. And I've been quite gentle with myself as well. I kind of know, kind of listening to my body. But also another thing, I guess now I'm on 4 things, is I have taken time to celebrate those small successes. So I'll never forget, there was one day in the park and I really didn't even want to go for a walk at all. And I was out there and I just said to myself, take the long way back. Just walk that, there's a shortcut and then there's the longer way. Just walk that longer way back. And there was once or twice I did that, and I remember going home and I was so happy with myself. But I had noticed it and I had said that to myself, well done, you did that. I think that's something else I'd like people to see. Kind of, again, it feeds into that self-kindness, kind of noticing, what went well, even if it is so small, or it seems so small to us, because, we are all or nothing creatures. And I know life before lockdown was a much faster pace. But just kind of doing those small things for ourselves, that extra 5 minutes of walking, that self-care, that self-kindness. So I would like you to go off and reflect on your documentary question. So, a way in which you could find more fulfillment is through examining the 3 things you did that you would want other people to see and finding the value under that. And then finding ways to enhance that value, to bring it to life. So I think for me, just to continue, I'm already in the practice of it. And sometimes it's not even doing something new, it's just noticing something that you're doing and looking for ways to enhance it. So I think with me, the kindness piece is very important. And just, being available if, a friend needs to call me to talk about their day, checking in with those I care about, and also checking in with myself. So I think my goal would be just to check in with myself throughout the day. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about today, which is a cousin of mindfulness, I call it a cousin of mindfulness, is savoring. So, savoring is another skill that we can use to really boost our feelings of fulfillment. Just noticing that we are enjoying something. So, what can happen in life is because we're so used to doing certain tasks, we can just go about our day and not really pay attention to them, and through that, take them for granted, even though we don't mean to. So, on Friday, I was thinking about this video and it really jogged my memory on savoring, which was something I did practice for a very long time. And it's so simple and you can really see the benefits straight away. So there was many times I practiced this over the weekend. So the first thing I did was in the sun, when it was sunny outside and I went out into the shade and I was reading my book, I just took a moment to notice the sun in the sky, hearing the sounds of the beautiful day, taking in the scenery around me, and really just saying to myself, isn't this weather really lovely? And I'm just going to take a moment now to sit in the sun and feel the sun hit my skin, coming into the senses. I really like the smell of sun cream, so I had some sun cream on and I was smelling that. And, I was really in the moment and taking that moment to savor it. Because what I might usually do, even though I really enjoy reading and it's great, is I might get all stuck into the book and not even notice what's going on around me. So it was really lovely just taking that moment to set that intention of just being there, feeling the sun against my skin, just sitting in that moment and kind of basking in it, and how lovely it was. And then yesterday I got an ice cream. I got a 99. And I would like to think I don't take ice cream for granted, but maybe I do. But I don't really set an intention of really enjoying it. When I'm eating it, I'm just kind of eating it. So I really took a moment to really enjoy the ice cream. I ate it very leisurely. I kind of sat in that feeling of gratitude. How lovely is it to have a nice ice cream on a lovely warm day? So, if you could just pick one thing over the next week to just savor. So, noticing that you're enjoying it. It could be savoring a delicious meal. It could be, we can savor everyday tasks. One that I usually do is when I'm taking a shower. Usually in the morning, I can take showers for granted. You're rushing along your day. So I'm in the shower, then I'm brushing my teeth, then I'm out the door. But, taking a moment in the shower to just notice the temperature of the water against your skin, noticing the steam, really taking a moment to kind of appreciate the water hitting your body. That's another one you can do. Anything at all, you can savor taking a shower, you can savor brushing your teeth, you can savor practicing if you practice an instrument or you like music, even savoring a song. So putting your earphones into your ear and really kind of taking a moment to notice the music, hearing it fully and intently, and just kind of basking in the deliciousness of the beautiful music can be another way to savor. So this week our little task for this week is kind of exploring 3 things you did or 3 ways you behaved or acted over lockdown that made you feel really proud or that you would like other people to see. So thinking about that and then looking at the value that underpins that action And then when we figure out what that is, looking at a way to heighten that value. So, kind of this week, it's all about enhancing what we're already doing. And then there's a piece of music, a piece of art, your favorite meal, or a hobby you really enjoy doing. Just taking the moment to do it a little slower and kind of coming into your senses. So, the song, really listening to the words and just focusing completely and giving your attention to that song. Or if it's eating a delicious meal, eating it at your leisure, smelling the food, noticing the texture of the food as it's in your mouth, really taking, intentional bites and really enjoying it, and noticing that you're enjoying it as well. Savor.